ability to get immersed into that battle. It is a private dispute, and that's about as much as we can say.
Why has he not advocated the rights of 10,000 people in Edgewater?
Mr. Henry, you have your time, please.
They're cutting into the rights of the rest of the people here.
Valerie, as you had mentioned, I didn't jot everything down for you, but I know you mentioned Ryan Christensen.
That's all you remembered?
Now, could you give me my chance, please? I listened to you. You know, if you're comparing me to Brian, he had his experience. I think he did a great job. I didn't catch too many of his meetings, and you know, I'm honored to be in this position, and I'm going to try the best I can. And I probably can't keep up with too many, you know, other former mayors or the level they attained. So, as far as getting back to you, Valerie, you know, and I've talked to you on your phone, I would never let you, I would try to get any answer you need. And I believe you truly know that. If, you know, I'm trying, these meetings are conducted for the best interest of the borough business as well. And you have 5 minutes, and I don't want to get into a dialogue where we're going to go back and forth, because then I've been accused of eating into your time. So you have your 5 minutes, and that's it. One other thing he said was the habit and the problems you had, not necessarily with the council here, but with the past council. That's what I inherited, and I've told you that before. I don't have any problems with you, Valerie. I've never have, and at the end of the day, I would like to move forward so there's not such an uncomfortable feeling every time you come to a meeting. I respect you, I respect everybody who comes to our meetings, but at the end of the day, sometimes we'll disagree, but I'd rather move forward and be a pleasant community. So if I inherited the problems you had with Holy Rosary Church, it wasn't something I deal with whoever took it up with you, let them be responsible for it. That's it. That's all I have to say.
You still didn't answer my question about the Veterans Field.
Mayor, I think I can just comment on Veteran Field.
Can I just say one more thing? At the end of the day,
you're in charge.
Thank you. Thanks for reminding me. You know, you guys have such a concern for the town. Why wouldn't you hesitate to just make a phone call? And, you know, we'll have the answers for you every meeting.
This is
everyone can come. But you show up here with the 5 minutes, and you expect me to answer on the spot. You know, listen, I wouldn't want to take the chance of possibly having one incorrect part of my statement to you. So, you know, Greg's available during the week. Leave him a message on your concerns. I mean, there's nothing to be intimidated by. You call up, leave the message for him, and we'll have the answers for your 5 concerns or 6 concerns every meeting.
So we shouldn't come to the meeting?
No, you should come.
This is a public dialogue.
That's not what I'm saying.
But this is where the public is supposed to face who they're
You get up
talking
and you have your
to.
5 minutes for your concerns, and we try to address them the best we can, at least to the following meeting.
The discrepancies are never answered.
Concerning Veterans Field, Greg and I have been in contact with our engineer, Nagla Engineering, and preliminarily, there is no question we are going to need a substantial amount of remediation there in order to get that field open for the public. There is going to be a significant amount of fill that will probably have to be brought in there under the guidelines and under the specifications of the DEP. We're not at a point where we have a full understanding of the extent of what has to be done to get that ball field open. But it's going to be expensive and it's going to take some time. And when the borough is ready to move forward on this, there will be a public advertisement for a request for bids. This will be publicly bid. And any way the borough can save money to help get that field remediated and save taxpayers money, we will look to those things. You know, because there, as I indicated, there will be an extensive amount of material that will have to be purchased or brought in from wherever. And as we develop these specifications, I assume, Greg, that the governing body will do everything they can to do the best job they can as quickly as they can, but also at the least cost to the taxpayers. And we will always keep our options open, whatever they may be, but we're not ready to even begin to talk about what needs to be remediated because our engineer, working with the DEP, hasn't formally put together a proposal. So to get it, we will certainly.
I'm sorry, the dirt's so safe we can eat it. That's what your administrator said.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a comment regarding open sessions. you know, I've had a concern because I've been on for a few months and I was appointed, I wasn't elected. And I come to these meetings and I begin to understand what the concerns are. The core group that come in, which are the people in the room and have concerns every meeting. I was concerned that we weren't necessarily aware of everything we need to be, and that was bothering me. Then I decided to run for council and spent a lot of time the last few weeks going door to door, talking to a lot of people. I got to tell you, I'm a lot more optimistic now because it just seems that we have problems, there's no questions, and we have issues, and we know what they are. But there's a lot of positive energy out there, and I think that maybe what I have experienced in this room, and I think it's fantastic that the people do step up and continue month after month, and it's the same people, they have a right to do it, and I think it's an excellent thing they do. But I think what I do now understand is a lot of it tends to be generalities, some of it tends to be inaccurate, some of it tends to be self-serving, some of it is good, some of it is things that we need to be aware of. But I think after talking to the amount of people I've talked to, and of course the election results, I mean, we were as low in turnout as the whole state of New Jersey, but I feel a lot more comfortable and optimistic about the plans that we have, the things that we're doing, and also a better understanding how this government works. And there's a lot of business to be done. I mean, it just, you know, day in and day out between the professionals and even the part-times and things that we have to get involved in, there's a lot of stuff to administrate and manage this town that is not necessarily the average person knows. So I'm looking forward to moving forward. I think if there's more actual solutions brought forward as opposed to general complaints, I will give my pledge that I will look at all of them and honestly consider it. And quite frankly, if this council doesn't adopt those solutions, then there's always the option of creating a platform, running for election, and then you get to make the calls. But until that happens, we have an obligation to manage and move forward. And I am very optimistic. I'm looking forward to it, and I think that should go on record. Thank you.
I'm asking for a copy of the letter that I gave him.
All right, October 17, 2011, the regular session, do we have an approval of minutes? Do we have an introduction?
Okay.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Holsche? Councilman Edgewater?
Yes.
Councilman Monty?
Yes.
Councilman Goodall?
Yes.
Councilman Jordan is absent. Councilwoman Ross? Yes.
Adoption of public hearings of ordinance. Read ordinance number and title. An ordinance of the Borough of Edgewater, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, repealing and replacing sections of Chapter 380 of the Borough Code entitled Streets and Sidewalks, specifically sections 380-17, 380-18, and 380-19 concerning snow removal. Phil, do we have, do you know the dimensions that what this switched from, what the original dimension was?
Yes, Mayor, what we have done as a result of the rather challenging snowstorm we had all